You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. Like I said last night, we are zooming by the year and we're doing what we have to do. We are winning every single day. Team No Days Off. That's me. I'm on Teams No Days Off. If you guys want to take days off, go for it. But here, me and the Tech Barbarians, we're going to stay winning. We're going to be putting that work every single day. So, that being said, good morning, everyone. Good morning. How is everyone doing today? So happy that we have another beautiful day ahead of us to get a lot of work done, to learn a lot. So, that's, let me see. What am I missing here? There we go. Cool. So, we are going to jump into our show. If you don't know who I am, if you do not know who I am your host of the show. I am Tech Coach Ralph, where we're engineered to win. What we do here. And I'm going to put up our timer. And we're going to go to 8 o'clock this morning, right? We have about 30 minutes. We're going to review some news stories, and then we're going to get into our mobile development. I figured out a lot of things between Monday and today on why our tests were failing, and I made some progress. I'll give you a recap as we get into it, and then we'll continue to finishing up the reset button. But let's get into our news, all right? Let's get into our news. If you haven't done so already, do me a big favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Last night on our Q&A show, we hit 1,000 subscribers, and it was a good feeling. But guess what? That was last night. Today is today, and we're over that. We are moving forward, all right? That was the past. We don't dwell in the past. We look towards the future. So, with that being said, let's get into our show. All right. So, our first story comes to us by Google, right? So, all right, so Google exec warns of fight ahead. Can I zoom in anymore? Let me see if I do one more zoom. Oops, right here. One more zoom. What do we get? All right, we're good. Cool, perfect. So it says Google exec warns of fight ahead. This is by Emma W. Thorne, editor at LinkedIn News. Google's search chief implored the company's staff to move faster and more aggressively to protect its edge in a new operating reality at a recent employee meeting. CNBC reports, citing an audio recording of the event. Prahakub, That could be totally wrong, but this Google exec, right, said increased competition and regulation, particularly in the dawning age of generative AI, means our growth has to be hard earned. To that end, he announced that the company will add teams in key markets, including India and Brazil, and shorten the amount of time some of his reports have to complete their projects. So they're tightening down. Google's cloud division has also directed employees to move faster, even though the group has been left with fewer resources after recent cost cuts, anonymous sources said. The tech giant has laid off thousands of employees over the past year as a part of cost-cutting push and reportedly plans to axe even more. Look, the nice fun times of the pandemic are over and companies are cracking down. If you saw the CEO's response to the protesters who were protesting at Google and invaded his office and everything like that, he's like, look, this is not a daycare. This is a business. The adults are back in business. All right. So that is that, and guess what? This is Google's exec warns this, but this is going to apply to all companies. So get your head down and get to work and make sure you are adding value, right? Like on this channel, we focus on adding value. So you better make sure, don't be at that mindset. Well, it's not my job. Well, then you won't have a job very soon. So let's get focused. Okay. Let's get focused. Let's get to work. Right. Um, what have I people that I admire? They watched the video where I said, work-life balance was that. I'm about work balance. And they found that hilarious. And like I said, I'm about work balance. When I'm off my day job, I'm still working, still getting better every day. So you guys got to get focused. All right, let's get to our next one. Overtime pay for 4 million more workers. 4 million more U.S. workers are now eligible to receive overtime pay. A new Labor Department rule lifts the salary ceiling for those who qualify for overtime to about $58,600 per year, up from the level of $35,500 that was set in 2020. Under the rule, employers must pay an overtime premium to those whose earnings are under the ceiling and who work more than 40 hours a week. As of July 1st, the threshold rises to $43,388 and to $58,656 in 2025. And as of 2027, the ceiling will automatically increase every 3 years to reflect changes in average earnings. So I am not a fan of the government getting involved in contracts between two bodies. If a company does not want to pay overtime, then you can not work overtime or go find a company that is going to pay overtime. But when we artificially set these thresholds and stuff like that, that's when you're going to start seeing more people get hired at part-time. And that way now they don't even have to offer insurance to you and benefits and stuff like that. And more people so the work will always get done. The work will always get done. But when we try to impose, to me, it has to be competition, right? You have to keep it competitive. So when the government puts these rules and policies in place, there's one thing about safety, but the other thing about hey, we're going to force you to do these things. And I could be wrong. Let me know what you think, right? All right, let's get to our next one. All right, so TikTok cell ban bill clears the Senate. The $95 billion foreign aid package. I'm going to read that. The 95, not million, but 95 billion foreign aid package, which also calls for the ban of or divestiture of social media app TikTok, will now head to President Joe Biden on Wednesday after being passed by the U.S. Senate. So, one quick question. What in the world does foreign aid package have to do with a TikTok ban? Do I use TikTok? No. I auto post on there, like my shorts. But I just don't see the correlation. And this is the problem a lot of people have. Why is a TikTok ban being passed through a foreign aid package. Anyways, Biden has previously indicated that he would sign the bill into law, which should reach his desk. The provision gives TikTok's Chinese parent company ByteDance 9 to 12 months to find a buyer or face a U.S. ban. TikTok told its U.S. employees, it would mount a vigorous legal challenge should a divest or ban law go into effect, Bloomberg reports, citing an internal memo. The pool of potential buyers for TikTok is small due to a price tag that is likely to be in the tens of billions of dollars and antitrust concerns. Even if one were found, separating the app from its parent company is likely to be messy. Of course it is. TikTok isn't the only ByteDance app popular in the US. The video editing app CapCut and photo editing app Hypepic are two others that share a parent company with the social media platform and could also be banned given the language of the legislation. You know what? I'm not sure which day, but we're going to read through the TikTok portion of this because I've heard that the language could also make it open to domestic. Because they already okay. I don't even know why you need this legal ban because they're already the Justice Department is already going after Apple, trying to break them up over being a monopoly when there is a big there are people who have Apple, there are people who have Android, and then within Android there's different brands of Android or different manufacturers who use the Android operating system. So we're going to break one of the greatest from a technological perspective companies because people are upset that they don't have a stupid blue dot. Give me a break here, right? So I don't know. This is weird. Anyways, let's get to our next story. So Oracle moving world headquarters to Nashville. Oracle is relocating its world headquarters to Nashville, Tennessee, to be closer to the industry where we're most concerned about, CEO Larry Ellison said during the company's health summit in Nashville. The city boasts an array of health tech startups, health systems, and investment firms, notes CNBC. And, a trend that began with HCA Healthcare was founded in the city in 1968. Oracle has been expanding its presence in healthcare, purchasing healthcare data company Cerner for $28 million in 2022. It's also been building a $1.2 billion campus in Nashville since 2021. So, and I've seen there is a lot of movement happening in Nashville. If you're in the Nashville area, whether you are whatever tech sector that you're in, it's going to get very, very promising for you over there because you're going to have opportunities as software engineers, as QA engineers. You're going to have cybersecurity opportunities, but you have to act fast and you can't be hoping that someone takes a chance on you. You have to get out there, put yourself out there, put in the work, show your work. All right. So that's that. All right. Next up, we have credit bureaus pay later loans. So buy now, pay later, like Klarna, Afterpay, all those, Affirm. Buy now, pay later loans are popular, unfortunately, with consumers, right? With consumers. But lenders aren't eager to report them to credit bureaus. While pay later providers admit that including the loans in credit reports would help consumers build credit and give lenders more insight into borrowing habits, they also worry the reporting could hurt their customers and the industry. So, and I'm inclined to say, do I have data on this? I don't. But I'm inclined to say more people don't pay back than do, right? I'm just saying. You don't even pay back your student loans. Why would I expect you to pay for so most of the education you get, it's not the one that you really needed, but we don't pay that back anyways. So why, when you go and you buy stuff that you really don't need, why would we expect you to pay that back? So the reason that they don't want to include it to the credit bureaus because then you probably wouldn't be approving them anyways. So anyways, it's weird. And the whole credit collection, it's all one big scam. Anyways, That's because each pay later transaction is viewed as an individual loan. Oh, I see. And credit scores decline when too many loans are taken out within a brief time frame. Why do you have so many pay later transactions? Anyway, I remember. So this is like what's happening here. You remember in the hood, I have a friend who every other week he's my friend, but every other week they would be heading to the payday advance places every other week. I'm like, how do you survive with that every other week? I've never taken a payday advance, right? And I'm going to. So, anyways, some experts agree that the credit reporting system can't accommodate the BNP, the buy now, pay later model. On the other hand, Wells Fargo economist warns that phantom debt from pay later loans could create substantial problems for the consumer and broader economy. So, you have all these phantom loans that you're paying a little bit here or paying a little bit there, digging yourself your own grave, and now you want to go get a home loan, and we don't know about this phantom debt. So, last story of the day, we have Caitlin Clark eyes a $28 million Nike deal. So shout out to Caitlin Clark and her shooting from 35 feet deep. Caitlin Clark is close to signing an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike that would include her own sneaker. Shout out to Caitlin Clark and getting her own sneaker deal. Per the Wall Street Journal, citing anonymous sources, that's considerably more than what was previously reported several days earlier, and it would be the richest sponsorship contract for a women's basketball player. The term of the pact also suggests that top WNBA draft pick could play for at least a decade. Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes lost the NCAA title game to South Carolina, but drew a record 18.9 viewers, an all-time high for women's basketball. And it says, so of course we have to go and start comparing people. Clark's contract would still be sharply less compared to what some NBA rookies were paid to turn pro. Nike Zion Williamson to a $75 million 5-year deal in 2019, and LeBron James to a $90 million 7-year deal in 2003. I want to say congrats to Caitlin Clark for all her success, and I am not going to be comparing her to anyone else. Shout out to you, Caitlin Clark. You go out there and you get it. You continue to work hard and shoot from 40 feet deep. All right, there we have it. So we have about 17 minutes left. We are going to jump into our code, right? I already have it started up. We have, I'll show you what we've been working on, all that good stuff, and we'll go from there. So, why is this? Oh, great. All right, cool. Let's do that. And let's do that. Cool, perfect. So, we are going to jump over into the code, and we are going to do as much as we can with the short time remaining, and then we'll be back at it again. And like I mentioned yesterday on the Q&A show, I am planning to go live shortly Saturday morning. I haven't scheduled it yet because I'm still figuring out the time. But like I said, we review on Mondays the numbers for the week. And I said, like, we mentioned them, the numbers that are coming out this week. And I said, you know what? We should actually do a recap of those numbers and see what actually came out. So we will, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, but going to figure out the time Saturday morning. I already have all the numbers, all the links, and we're going to review those links, see how the numbers were, and we'll go from there, right? But that being said, if you haven't done so already, do me a big favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live. And on that note, let's get to it. All right, so here we have it. I was able to get the runner thing in the background, so we can see most of the screen while we're doing this. You can't see. I don't know why. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit. Go here, and I go. I can. Mm, let's see. I know I'll do. I will close this down a little bit, and we can go like that, and we'll do this as well. All right, let's leave it like that. Now we can now we can see it. Okay, so what we're running into on Monday and Wednesday last week was this. We were getting an error that so I added all this code, right? But when we were trying to get the total annual income field to make sure that it was cleared, it was saying that it couldn't find it. So the reason that it couldn't find it was because, and for now, let's minimize this, was because inside of our code at the beginning, we were using a list view. So doing some research, it said that, the reason that the elements disappear is because using the list view, it shows it and then it's gone once you scroll out of it, right? So they said what you should be using is a single child scroll view. So I changed the list view to a single child scroll view. And they said then you have to add a column and then you add the children to the column. So all I had to do was change this to single child scroll view. And then I added this column as its child, and then everything else stayed the same. So now, when we go and we run this particular test, where is the test? We run this test. There's probably some stuff I could clean up in it at this point, but, and it's running it right here. Oh, the version of Flutter is available. I'll upgrade that after the show. And it passes. So with that being said, what I was able to do this, like yesterday as I was working this out, let's get rid of this stuff. I was able to say, all right, so this passed. And then I said, all right, now all of these fields are like, they should be, so we can bring this back up at this point. I know which one it is, not that one. Which- There it is. Device, maybe? Nope. Where's my device? Oh, there we go. So now if we were to go to, and then we go down over here and we say, let's go here, and we say additional cost would be like, I don't know, 500, I don't know, whatever. And money made, let's say we do, right? So now, although this little button right here, reset calculator, does not look the most appealing, but when we click it, so these still stay the same, right? However, up here, these clear. So I was able to get that. And that's what the test is doing so far. So what we want to do, we want to now, let's continue where we say, all right, we're going to clear this field and make sure this one also becomes 0. So what we're going to write our test and we're going to say, we're going to verify that the hour spent, additional cost, hours spent on all right, total hours spent on activity. We're going to take that and we're going to bring it down over here. I'm going to call that again. And we're going to say this one Bring that down over here, and I'm just going to pass this right here. I don't need to use this anymore because this was when we were testing, but we're going to go here and go here. Mm. All right. So we have that. So now when we run it, that's going to fail because we haven't put in the code to reset it yet. But like I said, test-driven development, you have it fail, you make it pass, and then you keep, and then like eventually we're going to refactor. We still have to figure out like, and this is why it's important to have all these tests because when we run it all over again, after any change we make, everything should still pass. So once we're done, we have to like, because the test pass individually, we have to figure out why that is and make them pass collectively. But we are going to be refactoring. So see, it's still 1475 here, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to go into our code down here. I can minimize this for now. And we're going to go towards the bottom. Let's see, just search reset calculator. So this is reset to 0, and there should be, I should do activity cost. And all we have to do then is say on press. We just need this one, right? On pressed here. And we're going to copy that down at the bottom into the on pressed section right here. Maybe I don't need this one. Oh, no, I do need it. Let's see if that works, right? Let's see if that works. Let's go ahead and run this one. And now we should get this should pass unless that variable is needed for some reason. So let's run it again. And it's, oh, we need to do we do need to do a pump and a wait. Not here. It's going to be a little bit higher up. Wait dot tester dot pump and settle. Now let's run it again. So remember, pump and settle kind of moves it, or pump and settle moves the, like after you make an interaction with the app, it moves it along to the next state. Let's see, which is different. Both characters. Oh, wait a second. 1475. What are we entering? What's 1475? 14. Okay, so that's that field. And let's see. So here. Your additional cost of activity is here, here. We're clearing these two. Additional cost of activity is, so that text to blank. And if text is equal to blank, see if I can. So 0. Your additional cost. What is this? The text editing controller. Input. Okay. I think that should do it though. Let's try pump. See if it has that. Let's see. Expected blank. Let's go to, why isn't it finding it? So that's that. Expected total input total hours spent on activity. That's because I'm doing the wrong field. That's why. That's because I'm doing the wrong field, right? So total, let's see, hours, your total hours spent on activity. Yeah, I mean, no, I think I have it right. Let's see. I see. I was looking on additional cost of activity. So this should be total hours. Total hours. And then here should be total hours spent on activity. No. Your total hours. What's the name of it? User hours spent on activity. Your total hours spent on activity. This one? What is it? All right, let's see. Let's go back to it, see what the field is. Let's see. Let's see what that field is. But you see how we are doing this TDD? Total hours spent on activity. And we want to say your hour. All right, so this is one we need. Your total hours spent, your hours spent on activity. Let's copy this one. That's the one we needed. And that's where the refactoring is going to come super handy, because we just want to have functions and methods that take care of all this instead of having all this repeatable code, you know? So now if we say we do this, let's see if that's going to work. Going to reduce the code a little bit. Steal. Did I do over? Okay. I see what happened. I did too much. Doing too much. Now, remove that. So now this should work. Because I had to remove this one before. Yeah, so I had to remove this one before, and we need this one. Now let's go back into our run, and we are going to trigger that one again. Let's see if this is going to work. Just did a hot reload. Looks like we are at the end of time, but let's see what we get. Did it restart? Don't see that. Maybe we need a hot restart. There we go. So let's close that. Let's do that. So, oh my goodness. All right, let's close that. And if we go here and we scroll a bit and we say 500, 5,000, whatever. And we go down to, can I get rid of this thing? Go here and we say reset. This resets, that resets, perfect. But if we go and we say, so see, this didn't clear out. We want to get this to be cleared out. So let's do that real quick. We also want to expect that this one activity time cost do I have the one for, right, there goes that one. So we're going to go here. I'm going to get rid of this one because we're not using this one yet. And we're going to say this should be 0 as well. So now when we run this, now we should get a failing test because we're expecting this to be 0. But that's not going to be the case because we haven't added the code for it yet. If you look here, it's going to say that it's still 168.44. So if we go to cost of activity calculation key, we are going to actually not there. So additional cost of activity. We're looking at this one. Oh, activity time cost, what we're looking for. And Could probably just reset that to just 0 because we're resetting, right? So let's see what happens if we just reset it to 0. Let's see. Cost of activity based on anticipate number. Let's see if I can just do this like that. If not, or I can just redo this one. Just do a set state. Let's just take this whole formula because that should be pretty straightforward instead of just setting it as a hard 0. Should be the same because it's being reset, but let's keep the formula. So we're gonna go to set state. We're gonna say cost of activity. And now, if we were to let's do a ready pumping, pump and settle, and let's run it again. It should reset now. All right, there we go. There we go. So, let's say real quick, these other two. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go to say now. We also want, let's see. We also want to do this one. Total hours spent on activity. And this one would be input additional cost of activity field. When we run that, now we should get a fail. And you see how that repeated loop cycle continues to happen, where we write the test, it fails. We see why it failed, which we already know why it's going to fail. You see, but then we go in here and we say, all right, now inside of the set state, we would want the field for the input field for. Which I don't even know if this is necessary, but we'd want to go in here and say your additional cost of activity dot clear. And we don't even need this, to be honest with you. I'm gonna take this out for now. And now if we run this, there we go. Next up on the docket, we're going, and we're almost done with this reset thing. So I'm just going to add that real quick. Like as far as the formatting and stuff, I'll probably take care of that on my own of the button to make it look a little bit nicer. Maybe put it like a red button or something like that, or maybe not red because red is going to make you think that it's something that you want to click when it's not. But I'll probably do like a red outline on it and make it a white button and with an X icon on it. But and then maybe like once you click on it, it's going to give you some type of alert like we have on the other thing. but I don't want like you don't want the reset button to be like the one that stands out the most. I mean, trust me, I am not a UI person whatsoever, but I'm just thinking like as a user, I probably wouldn't want to be like being guided towards reset everything that you just did, you know? So probably like and then put like an alert. Are you sure this is what you really want to do? And then once that's done, I think the only thing left after that is getting the ads to work. So we shall see. Anyways, let's go and let's do this one real quick. We're going to say we want to expect activity, time, cost, hours. Expect. So what did we just verify here? Oh, that cleared, and we want to say so. After that, it's the money made. Let's copy this too. Not get rid of the other one. And we want to go down here and paste that. Let's get rid of this one because we already have that one validating. And get rid of this var. And this is going to be 0, 0, 0. But it's not going to be, it's going to fail. And not because two reasons it's going to fail, right? Because we're still passing in the money made field. So we're going to have to do two things to get it to pass now. We're actually going to have to clear the money made field in order for it to work properly. You see, we expected that. But in order to get this to work, we need to clear out the money made field. So we're going to add here. And you just write enough code to get your test to pass. So here it's going to be input money made from activity field. So now when we run that, it's also going to fail because we haven't put in here the money made field. So let's do that real quick as it fails, but we know it's going to fail. Get rid of this. I might not need this code up there, but we'll see. We go here. Let's wait for it to fail. And now it's going to fail for a different reason. It's going to fail because we don't have, yeah. So we're going to say, we're going to go into here and we're going to say, your money made activity, clear that out. And now when we run that, it's still going to fail, but it's going to fail back to our original failing spot. All right, so now we're back to where we were originally failing. We needed to get back to 0. So what we're going to do here inside of, let me minimize this one for now. So we are going to go to, in here, we're going to say, inside our set state, we're going to say cost, or let me see, money made from activity. And it's going to be num.parse. And we're going to go with time, let's go enter, time cost calculator formula dot calculate total cost of activity, and user entered additional would be let me see, user entered additional cost would be cost of activity total hours, number of hours, cost of activity, user hours spent on activity, or hours, cost of activity, I think. And then user entered profit from activity would be your money made from activity. Let me see. I don't remember these variables. To calculate total cost of activity. Let's just go to that. Find that over in here. Just take that additional cost of activity based. All right, let's do that. I don't remember the variables we used to. Okay. So we have the money made from activity. We would copy these two. And we'll need this one right above the set state. Mm-hmm. Let's do 0. What's going on here? That value came from unchanged. Just set it to 0. Get user. Should just be 0, to be honest. Honestly, don't need the formula in here. Let me see something. If I just go to 0. Let's see. A value of type string can't be assigned to of num. Let me see. What am I doing wrong here? Num parse. So this right here and all that. Let me see what we got going on here. Do I have any errors? I do have an error somewhere in here. Let's see what happens. We're about to wrap it up. So went a little bit longer than 8, but we're so close to finishing. So I said, you know what? Let's finish it off. See what we get. So we go down here, and it is expecting 0 money spent here. Additional cost of activity should be 0. Money made from activity should be 0. And the user hours spent on activity should also be 0. We're resetting everything. All right. So now when we run it, I think that should pass. There we go. It all passes here. And when you click the reset button, it all passes. If we go and we do a hot reload on our application, as we wrap it up, just to see the progress and look how far we've taken it, right? Look how far we've taken it. So let me get rid of this one. Okay, so if we say, let's put in 200. Go 2 million. All right. So now we scroll down a little bit. Hours spent on activity. Let's say it is 10 hours, right? And additional cost of activity is another here. And we scroll down a little bit more. Money made. Let's say we do 5,000. I don't know, 500, whatever. And now when we reset the calculator, everything should be back to 0. So here, 0, 0. Gone out of that. Look at that. Look at that. Well, how do you like them apples? How do you like them apples, right? Everything is reset one more time. Let's see. We do 500. This is good. And then we do 40 hours. And then we do cost of activity, 1,000. And money made from activity, let's say it's 100,000. Let's say you just hit a big one, right? So now you make 96,000, but I want to reset the calculator. Boom. Good to go. Good to go. And now we are back to it. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up. Let's get back to our full screen. We are making great progress. Like I said, I'm going to do we already did the dialog box. So I'm going to try this weekend to get through the dialog box and the reset, like format the reset button a little bit. And then we're gonna push it to the App Store, go into testing mode again. All right. So that's our show for today. That is our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those who are watching it on replay, thank you so much. If you haven't done so already, do me a big favor: like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time that we go live or drop new content. But with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. We're right in the middle of the week. It is, it's make or miss right now. It is make or miss. So let's go out there and let's be great. Let's go out there and get it. All right. Okay, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Just because my guy Pluto asked, we're just going to let it be known one more time.
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is going up. And on that note, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day out there.
Spartans! What is your profession?